Much to everyone's delight, Prince William has shown everyone why the real royals always win. His charisma and charm were on full blast for his trip to Brazil for this year's Earthshot Prize. And we're going to walk through and do a little compare and contrast here in just a moment. But first, listen to this. It's really interesting and quite sums up how people feel about the difference between Meghan and Harry, the Sussexes, and the real royals, particularly Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales. So listen to what he said.
When we first started talking about this as a concept, optimism was the key word we always wanted to use because urgency and optimism equal action. And there was an awful lot of pessimism going around. And I think you can feel today that the positivity and the sort of feeling of hope and we can do this from every single person.
So we have been saying this a lot. I say this all the time about Meghan and Harry and their interviews and their appearances anytime that they're talking, really. Just how they're always just pointing at problems and they're never really pushing forward, so it always just feels negative. It's all very negative focused. Whereas William and Catherine are extraordinarily solutions focused and disciplined in keeping their appearances, their narratives, their opportunities to speak about issues oriented towards the positive, towards the solutions. Like they are very focused on that. And they're coming from this space of optimism that things can be done to improve society or culture or specific issues. And by creating an initiative that refrains from the doom and gloom narratives is so beneficial in so many ways. It's inspiring and it's just more pleasant of a message in general. And it focuses the conversation to what is being done now, rather than pointing at the problem like Harold and Meg and leaving people feel like there's this huge mountain to climb, that there's no progress, there's nothing being done, we're starting from scratch. That's stressful. Like even just small tasks in our lives, cleaning the house, feel overwhelming if it's really, really, messy or chaotic or there's lots of stuff out that needs to be put away. And just looking at how much you have to do isn't going to help. Starting to do it and think, well, hey, I got this corner done, or I got all the counters cleaned up, or I got the floor clean in this room. You focus on the positive, it makes it feel a little less stressful. The same thing can be applied to these big issues that Meghan and Harry dabble in and that Catherine and William take seriously. Listen to what else he said. He went further. He said more.
I'm very lucky to be in this position and use my platform for good. And whenever I'm doing stuff, I'm constantly analyzing where best can I use my platform for the greatest impact. And talking about the Earthshot was always an idea that positivity and a positive message to anyone brings out the best in them. There's a lot of negativity, a lot of telling people off, don't do this, don't do that. It doesn't work. And as you can see, you give the right people the right tools and resources, they flourish, and the impact they can have is truly phenomenal.
This is one of many reasons why William is popular. It's not just this or this. It's this, that he actually understands that telling people what to think or what to do doesn't help anything. It doesn't work. He already knows this, and so he does not do it when he talks about these initiatives and causes. Like Earthshot is all about conservation and climate change and environmentalism. But he also does the same sort of approach. He has the same ethos to all the issues that he talks about. Homelessness and mental health, suicide prevention, Catherine with her early years projects and mental health, as well as like arts and culture access, sports, like all of these things, even ones that aren't like negative, it's always rooted in the positive of like, oh, well, we can expand access. Look at how valuable this sort of a program is. Let's highlight it. Let's celebrate it. Let's make it something that people want to participate in. And being negative, being like, oh, because of all this long list of negative things, that's why we need this program. That feels like how Harry and Meghan do everything. They're like, let's list off all these negatives. That's why we need to do something about this. Or that's why this matters. We don't need that. Make it positive. We have enough negative news coming at our faces 24/7. We don't need to focus on that anymore. It's so refreshing and such a breath of fresh air for the royals to take this approach that feels almost exclusively positive. Like, the background of it is that they've identified a problem or an issue that does need help and is important and needs attention. But they don't make that the focus of their time participating with or interacting with the subject, which is so meaningful. Because Prince William and the other royals understand this, he keeps Earthshot and all of his initiatives solutions focused. It's not about telling people what to do or shaming those who aren't doing something or shaming people who aren't actively helping or telling people that they need to care about this, that, or the other thing, but rather presenting the information, presenting the solutions, funding things, connecting solutions and innovators, and showing people the good that has been going on. And all the while are inspiring and uplifting more. So it's perpetuating more of this as it goes on. It's a snowball effect. And this also highlights exactly why Harry and Meghan are so deeply unlikable. They tell us how bad things are every chance they get. They tell people what they should or shouldn't be doing, how they should feel about things, and what they should think about everything, including themselves. Even in Harry's interview recently with Hassan Minhaj, I did a full recap on it. I will link that video for you at the top of the page. If I can remember, I'll also put it at the end of today's video. But if you missed it, go check it out. He says in that interview, I don't want to be all doom and gloom, but... And then he proceeds to repeat that dodgy research study I told you about. That was just like AI chats that can get really dark. As if you didn't know that already, here's proof. And Harry just kind of continues to tell us how bad a problem is, which is basically ruminating. And rumination is not healthy. It's something that like psychiatrists and mental health professionals pay attention to. If you ruminate on your problems too much, it can damage your mental health and your outlook overall and make you depressed and whatnot. That's what Harry and Meghan do. They ruminate and they perpetuate rumination amongst the population over problems rather than making people feel like there are solutions and that there are good things happening in this world and that there are good people taking steps in the right direction every day. And when you don't see it and you don't hear it because it doesn't make the news, people like William doing the Earthshot Prize are our chance to hear some of that positivity and to see that there have been people working all year long on these positive causes and that there are good things happening. And that's just so refreshing and feels so much better. It feels so much nicer to hear and to see than Harry and Meghan's approach. William takes this very proactive, actual leadership role and position here. It not only earns him and his initiatives greater respect, but it's very likable. It's positive, and that positivity, focusing on the bright side, the silver lining, the solutions, that optimistic outlook also shines on to William too. It's not just his outlook and how he frames presenting this issue with Earthshot and how we're looking at protecting the environment and whatnot. His optimism then reflects back onto him, and we view him more positively.
I mean, they're the brains and they're the fantastic people who are going to do what we need to do, and they're going to bring the planet into a better, healthier state than it's ever been before. So, the transformational impact that these guys have had has been truly phenomenal. But we are only halfway, and we've got another 5 years to go.
He specifically rejects pessimism, and he gives credit to the people who are doing the day-to-day work, while Harry and Meghan are just fueling the dark cloud that follows them around because they're never solutions-driven. It's never talking about exciting solutions and innovative ideas that could make a big difference or launching awareness campaigns to help inform in a non-preachy way. No. It's lecturing us about how bad it is and how bad it was for Meghan too, don't forget. Another hole to the Sussexes' approach to their cause-driven work is that they don't seem to have a real purpose or direction. Like the Parents Network, it was way too broad, way too vague. Seemingly the point was just for people or parents to find other people or parents who felt that the internet as a whole played a part, big or small, in their children's challenges or losses. So Parents Network wasn't actually doing anything. And then they kind of got rid of Parents Network and merged it with Parents Together, incorporated into Parents Together. So the Sussexes have been removed from any degree of responsibility for that cause. And so their involvement in the initiative of digital safety feels very much simply for show. because there's no real point. They're not looking for solutions. They're just tagging along, piggybacking off Parents Together and Project Healthy Minds. Plus, they don't give credit to the people who are doing the day-to-day work ever. In stark contrast, listen to what William says about launching Earthshot, why he did it, and the people who make it happen.
This space needed somewhere to come together. It was very fragmented, and I think for those who want to do good and those who feel they can, and as most of the solutions are highly commercial, this is not a philanthropic activity, you need to find that space, that community where everyone can feel that they've got the space to grow, they've got the support, and they've got the direction. Many of these guys and girls, they've got incredible solutions, but might need a little bit of help over here. They might need a bit of mentoring over here. They might need an introduction over here. The Earthshot provides that family to allow them to go on and be the best they can be.
See how positive that sounds? It's inspiring. It makes sense. You understand fully what Earthshot is for and what the goals are and how it's applied in real life by connecting and funding and community support. Prince William explains that Earthshot can provide the ability for excellent ideas and innovations to come to fruition, to actually make the solutions a reality and help potential be reached. And there's tangible results of this that we can see and look back on the previous years. It's about positivity, an inspiring environment, and it's perfect. He says it's working and there's a lot of progress already made, so everything he's saying is backed up. You can see that Earthshot actually has this tangible progress that you can see on their website. I will try to link it for you. But these projects have made a difference and they are up and running, and it's all thanks to Earthshot and thanks to the people who have invented these products or spearheaded these projects. When you look at Harry and Meghan, there is absolutely no tangible progress, and their negativity and focus on the problem rather than the solution is harming the overall, general cause of online safety. It gives the whole thing a sour reputation with Harry and Meghan's involvement. Thank goodness there are people like William and Catherine doing the positive work. Now, let's just take a moment to compare a few pictures from Prince William's trip, because he did a fabulous job. It goes without saying. You can't say enough good things about what William did here. He was perfect. He was in top form and he looked fabulous. But it's really rather pitiful to actually see just how desperate and sad and subpar Harry and Meghan's attempt at their faux royal tours last year were. The whole thing was just embarrassing. And looking at the contrast with William here, you can see it in so many ways. His posture, the joy and fun that he's having. He's actually in the game and excited and going hard. And then the charm, the warmth that he has with these people who lined up to see him, the time that he took to talk to everybody and play and just socialize with these people who waited around to see him. It's inspiring and it's likable and it's nice to see. Harry, meanwhile, has the Meg pestering him the whole time, annoying him, rushing him off immediately, showing up late to everything, barely stopping to see anybody, and he looks like he's being forced to participate. It's unfortunate. He looks sour most of the time. Meanwhile, William looked perfect. Or compare Harry's recent pointless boat ride to William's. William was highlighting conservation, part of the Earthshot ethos, planting mangroves, educating about ecology. Harry was there to watch a demonstration of the naval reserves, I guess, but why? Why? Harry has no role or purpose in Canada for Remembrance Day or for anything. But we're talking about that in a separate video, so remember to subscribe if you have not yet already so you don't miss out. Just look at the difference in how they interact with people and crowds and speak at events. William feels part of it all, and he's connecting with people. He's giving them their full attention. Meghan and Harry are at most giving people 50% of their attention because they're always touching one another. And this is something that we talked about a lot when they were still working royals, that by holding hands when you're doing a meet and greet, when you're there to greet the people who have lined up to see you or greet people at an organization that you're visiting, if you're holding hands, then you are automatically, immediately showing that 50% of your attention, 50% of your body is directed towards your partner or your spouse who you get to spend all the time with that you want. And you are only willing to give 50% of yourself, your attention, your bod, to focus on the people who are there to see you one time for a few minutes of your time, maybe a few hours of your day. You can't give 100%. It was so off-putting. And Harry and Meghan always having to touch one another and hold hands and be so incorporated and involved with each other, you can see the difference. And just the huge contrast in how people react and respond to that, how excited people are to see William versus this mess. It must be kind of sad for Harry not to have the same cachet, the same polished presentation, the same amount of teams of people and excitement and buzz around him, to no longer have the adoration he once enjoyed. By all accounts, he misses that, and it's why he keeps trying to frame himself as this random rogue royal floating around in space aimlessly. But William did an amazing job. The pictures are worth 1,000 words, so please enjoy more of these photos as we close out today's video. And also, I have opened up memberships on my channel just because I usually get a video uploaded at least a few hours, if not a day or two, before it's actually live. So if you want early access or access to some of my older videos or some of the videos that are only on for a limited period of time, then you can get that through memberships. That's all it is. If you don't want to, all the videos are still coming normally. I know some people were confused. It's really just if you want to watch them early, as soon as they're done. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you next time. Have a happy day, everybody. Bye.